Hello guys, happy to be back after at least a week. It's been a week, I guess, since I uploaded my last video. So I have been trying to tinker with Postman and do some API calls. I tried to initiate REST APIs as a project, and I have been able to make considerable progress in the last 3-4 days. Though the progress is very slow because it took me a while to download only Postman in the Linux system. There is something called a Snap Store, which is not officially the Linux store, but that is used to download stuff which you cannot basically directly install from the command line. You don't have essentially the dependencies which are required. So everything, it compiles all the dependencies, and the app like Postman, it compiled all the dependencies and all the folders, files, system files required to install Postman and made a package out of it. So once you download Postman from the Snap Store, it already comes pre-installed with all these things, and it is you're able to run it hassle free. So installing Snap Store was a challenge. Then I installed Postman and then learned how to make REST API calls and got to know that from the browser it's possible only to make GET request. Having said that, you can basically do anything with GET requests only, but POST request, put, patch, delete, and all these other requests, the popular ones and also the ones which are less known, these are required for better documentation and so that your code does not get confusing. Because if you implement everything with a GET request, then someone who is reviewing your code, or even if you or other teammates who want to contribute, it gets very tedious for them to know or to judge like what. Yes, so I have implemented this. Firstly, I initiated Express, then wrote the boilerplate code, and then GET request, POST, and since the route was same for the patch and delete request and the GET request as well, another GET request which had to be made, I combined them in a route, and then I have this mockdata.json file. So what happens is that if you don't have any database integrated like MongoDB integrated, so if you want to test on some data, Mockaroo is a website, mockaroo.com, where you just get this fake data generated according to whatever schema you have, or schema, whatever you call it. So I basically just generated the like employee portal kind of data with the ID, name, last name, email, gender, job title, those kinds of fields. So it generated 1,000 entries. You can download it either in the CSV file or your JSON file, whatever your requirement is. So this has 1,000 entries. Now what I want to do is I want to add this data to this JSON file from Postman. So I have to make a POST request, adding the key value pairs. So in Postman you have all these params, auth, headers, body. So in the body section, what you can do is you can add data. Mostly we add data in the JSON format itself, so that it gets added in the text file like the same format as it is. But now I think since it has key value pairs, I found it better to add it in the form section. So www.form URL encoded. So I added these keys: first name, last name, email, gender, job title. And if I initiate the server, so server started. Now I have to make a POST request. So you will be able to observe some changes here in the real time itself. I press send here, and so since the format has been changed, I know some change has taken place. Let me format the document. So since the last we saw, there were 1,000 IDs. So 1,000 was the last entry, and this was the last person who was added. And now I have my entry also added. Pratham Sikka 2004@gmail.com, mail, student, ID 1001. So I have added the data to JSON file from my backend. Like, this is how the backend interacts with the database, and then it is displayed on the front end. So it was challenging and yet exciting to do these things. Thank you for watching. See you again. Take care. Bye bye.